Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Do me a quick favor, hit that like button, because you already know you're in for a treat. Hit that subscribe, hit that hype button. I think you get what, like 3 a week? Go ahead, hit me that hype. I greatly appreciate it. Matter of fact, just because I know you're gonna do all 3, I'm gonna drop a bomb on you. I'm gonna drop another bomb on you. There it is. Without further ado, let's get into today's topic. Women are finally admitting, well, not finally, because this has been going on for a while, but more and more women are waking up to the fact that this feminism thing isn't what they thought it was going to be, and it's not what they're preaching. So without further ado, let's get right into it.
Feminism has become a cult where if you don't think like other women, then they actually believe you are the enemy. When I say that I'm not a feminist and I don't believe in feminism, the women say that I'm not a girl's girl and that I'm against women. Here is why I do not care. You're a woman, how can you not support feminism? Why would I support a movement that spent decades convincing women that independence means needing nobody, marriage is optional, homemaking is beneath them, and that fathers are far less important than they actually are? There's a war going on against happy, submissive wives and strong marriages. Amen. People are comfortable seeing women loud, bitter, combative, exhausted, and constantly at war with their husbands. But the moment a woman says she enjoys serving her husband, respecting him, or following his leadership in a healthy marriage, suddenly everyone is concerned. Why? Because peace in marriage has become offensive to people who normalize dysfunction. A lot of modern culture profits from broken homes, division between men and women, constant gender competition, and teaching couples to keep score instead of unity. Submission has been twisted into meaning weakness when biblical submission was never about abuse, silence, or losing your identity. It was about order, trust, humility, wisdom, and understanding the power of unity within marriage and also the hierarchy of marriage. People will celebrate toxic independence before they celebrate a wife who genuinely loves bringing peace into her home. They will call a respectful woman brainwashed before they admit some women are simply happy living differently than the world told them to. And this is contrary to what feminists say about having choice, that feminism is all about choice and you can choose what you want to do. Well, when you say you want to stay home, you want to respect your husband and you want to have kids, suddenly they tell you that this is oppression, that you should achieve for more, that you're lazy and unambitious. But healthy traditional marriages still exist. Women who respect their husbands still exist. Men who lead, protect, provide, and cherish their wives still exist. So if me being against feminism means I'm against all women, then so be it, because a lot of women are already against me for not supporting feminism. I think it's turned into this toxic cult mentality.
And she's absolutely right. She is absolutely right. Hit the nail on the head. But this feminism has turned into pretty much just a man-hating cult, misandrist group where they find like the most vile, ridiculous things to say about men with no facts, by the way. And then they say, you know what? I'm gonna just put this onto the internet. The internet doesn't do anything about it. Social media, nobody, because they know that they allow women to say these things because women are the biggest consumers. So in order to keep those profits high and keep those women keep coming back, they just allow them to say whatever they say. It's all about money at the end of the day.
He held the door open for you, that's bare minimum. He paid for the dinner, that's fucking bare minimum. He told you you pretty, that is bare minimum. He sent you money to pay your rent up for the rest of the year, now that's T. Stop falling in love with the fucking bare minimum.
How much you want to bet that she be splitting the bills 50-50 with her partner if she even has one? I just find it unbelievable that somebody would actually settle down for someone with this type of mindset, because it's given I'm broke as fuck. I have no type of fucking skills and I'm lazy. So instead of me going out, working hard, getting a career and making that type of fucking money and paying my own fucking bills, I'm gonna have somebody else pay for it like he's my fucking dad. Imagine going out on a date and, you know, as a man, you're out here looking for a wife, looking for someone that's going to take care of you and you take care of them, you know, for sick or for poor, right? What happened to that? And instead of her trying to find out what type of person you are, she straight up tells you, yeah, I only care about if you're going to pay for my rent for the rest of the fucking year. What the fuck is this?
A lot of men have woken up to this. Like, this is just a bad deal. It's a bad deal, ladies. It's a bad deal. You can't have these men doing all of this. And then, if that's the bare minimum, then what is the woman gonna be doing? What is the bare minimum on the woman's end? See, I find it funny that even though a man is actually doing things for that woman, they'll say, oh, well, that's the bare minimum. But then the woman doesn't do anything for the man, and she'll say, well, just because of my presence, my divine feminine presence. I'm like, man, get out of here. You better go out there and cut that grass.
Women did not want women's liberation.
What?
Yes, everybody assumes and believes that women kind of looked around in the 19th century and they went, we're oppressed. We don't have any rights. I wish I could work. I wish I could get away from my bastard husband who drinks and beats me. And they marched and they picketed until they had voting rights and equality in the workplace. That's the story everyone's heard, and it's not correct at all. In fact, it's the opposite. So we had this big fight in the late 1800s between pro-suffrage groups and anti-suffrage groups. Most women in the United States and England, they far outnumbered by joining the anti-suffrage groups. They were very much against it. And these groups would debate, and women didn't want it. They thought they had a lot of great things going on already that were going to get ruined by suffrage. Only men could be held responsible for debt. There was something called breadwinner laws that said, look, women have to raise kids and be pregnant and have babies. So we have to hold men responsible for financially taking care of women and children. So women couldn't be thrown into a debtor's prison. They couldn't be held legally liable for repaying a loan or anything like that. The anti-suffragists said, you're going to see a lot of divorce. You're going to see broken up families because it's going to pit husband and wife against each other. Political interests will be used to drive a wedge between men and women and break up families. And then we're all going to be a bunch of single moms. We're all going to have to work. Like they literally predicted.
But ladies never talk about this. They never talk about this, one, because they don't know. And the reason why they don't know is because they rarely do any type of research. How many times have you been in a conversation with a lady and she just is regurgitating talking points? She doesn't know any stats. She can't tell you where she found that. She can't explain it. She just knows that one bullet point talking point, and I'm just going to say this. And then when you hit her with something back, well, like, that's not true. Or what about this stat? Then she has nothing. Then, well, you're just a misogynist. And then she goes to name calling. You're just a misogynist. Can never defend her point. Never, ever. The world we're living in.
I'm not about feminism at all. I've been anti-feminist since high school because it's really destroyed dating and getting married and having kids.
Why do you think that?
Because it placates off of the natural inclination for women to be corrupt. It's a very corrupt ideology. Women have a particular innate capabilities that can make them very corrupt and manipulative. And I notice with feminism, it really magnifies that because it actually calls it a civil rights movement in the West. And it's a fake civil rights movement in the West, but it really just ends up becoming a big government situation, which is what most civil rights movements in the West is all about. It's not really about your civil rights. It's not an inequality thing because we have equal rights, but I'm at the point now where I'm like, less rights for women, the better, because it's actually becoming such a cancerous society. It's destroying family and tradition, and I'm very patriarchal.
Listen, it takes a very wise woman to understand, first of all, to even see what's going on. And then to understand how feminism has corrupted the Western American, I guess, society especially with relationships. A lot of people have been talking about repeal the 19th, meaning repeal the woman's right to vote. And I'm not gonna lie, it might look like it's going that way because how women are moving now, either they're gonna have to change some of these laws in order to get it back on track, or America's just through. It's just through. There is no other way of looking at it. If we keep going the way we're going right now, America is through. It's finished.
Women in 2026 are walking away from the feminist movement because of how contradictory it has become. It's clear that modern feminists seem to hate men, but they also love masculinity. They'll tell you men are toxic, but then they'll turn around and praise women for acting like the worst types of men. If you're loud and aggressive and like selfish, if you sleep around and you're emotionally detached from people, that's bad if you are a man. But if you're a woman, like that's empowering. That's like slay queen. If those traits are really bad in men, why are we encouraging women to adopt them? And on the flip side, what happens to women who are more feminine? The ones who are more nurturing and soft and devoted to their children and their family, like the way women have been since the dawn of time. Those women, they're weak. They are brainwashed. They are oppressed. They are just victims of the patriarchy. Why? Because they don't act like men. Being harsh and reckless and self-centered is bad unless a woman does it. And being gentle and loving and family-oriented is good only when a man does it. But when a woman does it, it's bad. That's not empowerment. That's not leading women to be happier. Real empowerment would be valuing women for what we naturally bring to the table. Not telling us that the only way to be respected and empowered is to mimic the very traits we claim to hate in men. It's just starting to feel less like feminism and less like about femininity and about women, and more just like a rebrand of masculinity.
Listen, I never even thought about it, how she just said it, about how they'll say that masculine traits are wrong unless, depending on what gender is doing. I never even thought about it like that. And that is true. That is true. If a man is doing it, they say, well, if a man is going out here sleeping with women and doing all these other things, they'll say, well, you need to grow up. You need to grow up and stop playing around, be a man. But if a woman's doing it, oh, you're just empowered. You're just living your truth. It's complete nonsense.
I feel like modern day feminism has become so toxic. And it started with this idea that we are equal. And yes, we are equal in value, 100%. We are not equal in traits. And let's stop pretending that we are. All modern day feminism has done is demasculate men. And we are raising boys. We're not raising men anymore because of this. And it is heartbreaking. This idea that as a female, I'm gonna go to war, or I can, work these construction jobs, lifting all these heavy things. We're just not built the same. And just as men could never bear children, that's something only a woman could do. We bring life, we bring energy, we bring peace. We bring, give a woman a house, she makes it a home. That's what women bring. But to pretend that women are gonna go out there and perform the jobs that men do and provide the safety and the security is so demasculating of what men bring to the table.
But see, something like this, I always wondered, so why aren't women more, how am I trying to say this? Why aren't women more, I guess, incentivized, or I can't think of the word, but anyway, why aren't women bringing it to the forefront to have this conversation? Why aren't we seeing more posts like this? There are a lot of women that feel this way, but they won't say it because they're afraid of being shunned by the sister code. Like, this sister code thing is real. It is real. Girls are so scared of being not a quote unquote girl's girl that they would just let nonsense fly. And this is why men lead. Men will not let nonsense fly. Like, there will never be no. Even the men that are misogynists get called out all the time by other men. But you will rarely find, I had to scour for these clips. You will rarely find women that will, especially like a celebrity woman, who will come out and say feminism is bad. I'll give you an example. Amber Rose had the slut walk, right? And then she came out, to my acknowledgement, she's the only one who has done this, who has come out and said, you know what? This feminism thing isn't what we thought it was going to be. This isn't what it's all cracked up to be. It's just not. So I don't know, but shout out to this lady for speaking facts.
Don't believe in feminism. I think that if men are willing to do more and do more, then they should make more. That's the first argument. Everybody's like, men shouldn't make more money than women. I don't want to be a carpenter. Get up for me. I want your seat. There's no reason we should get rid of those pieces of chivalry all for feminism. I don't know. Like you said earlier, we're taking it too far. We're taking it too far. I think that there are certain positions in society that are comfortable for a woman, and when you start pushing the men out of the other positions, then the women have to step into the ones that are uncomfortable for women, and I'm not willing to do that.
See, that's what happens when you think in the future. When you can see further into the future, a majority of women only see what's in front of them, which is what they never know what they want to eat. They never know anything because they only see what's in front of them. They have no plan ever. This young lady knows that if we keep pushing these men out, then eventually women, we're going to have to do these hard jobs, these disgusting jobs that we don't want to do. So how about we just knock it off and just go back to how we were doing it, because the way we were doing it is what built nations. But they're not going to listen.
I think that men should step in a little bit more when it comes to laws, even more now, because like they were saying, like women are emotionally led. That's what I believe. I believe, like right there.
I can laugh.
Well, it's just like it's just like so many reactions constantly. Yeah, it's emotions. Like men feel their emotions, but they can also conduct themselves. At least when I'm in rooms with them, our men should actually step in more when they see that we're destroying ourselves.
You made a face.
Oh, I made a face because I was talking earlier. I do agree. You should let people fail fantastically if they want to. Sometimes people have to hit rock bottom, and I say let them. And I think that's how some people have to learn, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm. Men being less emotional would be bad for wisdom. And I don't think that men are less emotional. I think they're the same. And so I guess what would your rebut to that?
I think that they feel emotions. I just think what I've noticed is that they're not so emotionally reactive, unless if we look at the studies of like men that are in prison, they usually come from single mothers.
I actually don't think there should be any laws on women's bodies. I think the only people who should be making decisions about what medical procedures a woman is receiving is herself, because she is an adult and can make choices for herself, and with her doctor, because those are the only people who should be making decisions when it comes to women's bodies. I don't trust men to take a list and go to the grocery store and execute that successfully. I certainly don't trust them to put laws on my body and execute that successfully. Women are dying in Texas because of laws on their body. A woman was strapped to a life support machine where a baby was forced to be made when she was only 6 weeks pregnant, and the baby is now severely disabled. And that was a law by man. I don't think that men should be making decisions. If they can't find the clitoris on image, I don't care what they think about my uterus, okay?
Out of what she said, that that's what that woman used as her rebuttal. And I'm telling you, man, majority of the time when these ladies are talking about any type of rights and issues and everything, it's always going to go back to either abortion or something like that. Majority of the time it's going to go back to abortion. They're just in love with it. They're addicted to killing their own seed. But comment down, maybe I missed it. Comment down below, what do you think? Who do you resonate more with? Because that's it for today's video. Hit that hype button again. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Matter of fact, here's another bomb. You're welcome. That's it for today's video. If you want another good one, click this one on your left. If you want a great one, click it on your top right, or maybe your bottom right. And I'll see you on another one.